Okay, so this is our third go in trying to record this or have this recorded for our dark moon evening. Very Mercury and Gemini, as we were just saying. Retrograde, Mercury retrograde in Gemini. So here we are. Thank you for joining me. So it's very exciting because we have this solar eclipse tomorrow as well with our new moon in Gemini. So there's so much going on. We're in eclipse season. Very exciting. All this Gemini energy. It's all about shifting our mindset. It's all about shifting our consciousness. As we were just speaking, we might be experiencing a lot of these, all of these old patterns surfacing so that we can take a look at them, especially tonight in the dark moon, right before the new moon. We can dive into the dark moon, dive in with ourselves into our heart, and really have the space, the time to see what it is that we're ready. We're ready to shift consciously, right? So that we don't keep repeating the same patterns over and over and over. So, New Moon in Gemini is really bringing that up for us. It's how we communicate, and then also allowing us to bring into union. So Gemini on a higher level has a lot to do with duality, but also with union. It's like seeing both sides, being able to be in our mind and being able to express our mental thoughts, but anchored in our hearts, anchored in our soul, anchored in that creative flow. And so the opportunity is here, especially with this eclipse, because with the eclipse is that intensity of let's transform. Um, like radical transformation, right? The eclipses usually bring up radical transformation if we're willing to jump in. Sometimes it makes us jump in. It brings us stuff that we may not want to see. But if we're willing, it's like it's an opportunity. And even if we experience, some of the unpleasant patterns, we can use whatever is coming up for us. It's like food for our transformation. So very powerful night tonight with this moon in the new moon coming into Gemini and the solar eclipse tomorrow. So we're going to kind of dive in and do some clearing of those old patterns. First, we'll connect. We'll do some of the embodied presence and connect with our hearts. Connect where have we been in the last couple of weeks since the full moon? The full moon might have brought up a lot for us because the full moon is just that. It brings up, like it's in our face. It lights up a lot of things for us. And so what have we noticed between the full moon and, this dark moon? And how can we take responsibility for ourselves and then open up for more love? So these patterns are in the way of connecting to more love. Because ultimately, what heals is love. What we are is love. When we say we want to connect with our hearts, we want to connect with our soul. What we're doing essentially is connecting with love, that pure essence of love, the unconditional love. And we're entrained, we're patterned, we're raised, we live in a culture that doesn't really talk about unconditional love, that's kind of only the divine's domain. But the truth is that we are divine. We are made from the divine spark. And so what we're really doing in this journey is moving towards greater and greater levels of love, of self-love. And that includes how we think about ourselves, the thoughts that we're having daily, about ourselves, the judgments, the criticisms, the unworthiness, all of that that we've kind of inherited by just coming into the body, according to our lineage, according to our mothers and fathers and the mothers before them and our grandparents and the whole lineage, right? We've been steeped in all of these patterns that are actually in the way of us experiencing ourselves as love. So when we let me just open this here and just checking mute. So what we're really doing in all of this work is really stepping into greater levels of love. So when we're experiencing, ourselves as separate and limited and unworthy and on and on and on with all of those mental patterning and conditioning patterns that come up, that's what is ready to be transformed. And so again, with this new moon in Gemini that's coming up and the solar eclipse, it's like where the window is open for radical transformation in how we think about ourselves, because how we think about ourselves determines how we act in the world and how the world responds to us. It's like this whole dance. And our mind, which Gemini rules our mind, is key in really shifting, that awareness and moving into greater levels of consciousness of our divine self, of that true love, loving ourselves, which sounds really simple, and it is. However, it's like, how do I love myself? It's like, what does that even mean? And how many ways can I love myself? And how many ways am I not loving myself? Am I not honoring? Am I not believing in myself? How many ways am I not honoring that I am, in this divine essence of love, that primordial love, that light within us? And so here's the window. Here's the window to dive in. So let's start with a little bit of just breathing into our hearts and just doing a little of that embodied presence. So embodied presence connects us with not just our mental thoughts, but it actually allows us to start connecting with our hearts, which connects us with our soul, which connects us with that love that we are. And bringing your hands to your heart and just feeling in this moment, just feeling your space, feeling where you are, feeling your root. If you're sitting down, hopefully you're sitting down. Feeling your roots, feeling your perineum, your sitting bones, that pelvic floor. And then feeling the earth beneath you, feeling your feet on the ground. Yeah. And just bringing your awareness, it's like just gathering your awareness into you, into your experience, into your sensations, feeling your body, and knowing that your breath is sacred. Your breath is an aspect of that sacred dimension. And so just breathing in, noticing your breath, breathing into those places of your body that you might feel tension or sensations in this moment. And just allowing yourself to breathe allows you to start connecting with that divine dimension. And just breathing for a minute. Allow, allowing yourself to feel your body and all of the sensations. And just noticing where there might be any part of your body that that is kind of calling your attention. Feeling all sensations, pleasant or unpleasant. And bringing your breath into here. And just breathing. Yeah. And then noticing as you continue to breathe and you're breathing right into these different parts of your body, you're kind of just welcoming all the sensations. Again, pleasant and unpleasant, right? Allowing yourself to really embrace whatever is coming through for you. And then we're going to tune in a little bit deeper into the heart. And in your heart, just allow yourself to kind of take an emotional inventory. And just noticing what you're feeling in this moment. Is there any feelings floating around? Or maybe there's something that's been there, that's been weighing on you. Maybe there's been a challenge that you've been very conscious of in yourself, in your life. And just let yourself feel those feelings without any filter, without any agenda, just allowing yourself to be present with your humanity, with what your emotions are feeling. Giving yourself permission to face whatever is there. Breathing the love into it. Breathing that sacredness into it. And just allowing, just being present with it. And then we're going to go on a little exploration for this dark moon tonight. And right from here, from your heart space and your emotional body, we're going to allow yourself to just notice how do you think about yourself? What are the thoughts that you constantly hear yourself or even see yourself saying to yourself or thinking to yourself? What do those thoughts say about you? Like, what are the narratives that have been playing and going on in your mind about yourself in the places that perhaps aren't that loving? Perhaps in the places that you judge yourself, the places where you feel limited, restricted, hopeless, the places where you might feel unworthy. places that you might have some kind of narrative that doesn't really reflect the sacredness of your being, that doesn't really yet know how holy and how special and how much love you carry in your soul, that doesn't know that you're at your core, you are love. You are this light that we call this divine light, this light of consciousness that we experience as love, as unconditional love, the love that doesn't have to do anything to be received. It's always flowing. It's always creating. It is always present. And so I want you to just reflect, and you can ask your body because the wisdom is right here in your body. Perhaps what are the top narratives that you still kind of default into, that come up when there's challenges, about who you are, about what you are, about what you're capable of, perhaps maybe about your purpose. And we want to really focus on the ones that are not loving, because the ones that are loving already are in union with your deepest truth. So the opportunity here is to focus on the ones that are not loving, to face those, to listen, and to bring those into greater union with the actual love of your being. And the dark moon time, the night before the new moon, is an opportunity to allow all of this conditioning to dissolve. Yeah. So give that a few moments of your focus. And just notice if you feel it in your heart. You might be feeling it in your womb. And so wherever you're feeling it, sometimes you feel it in different parts of your body as well. Wherever you're feeling the energy of those narratives, or the one narrative, whichever is loudest, just let yourself put your hand there. Your hands also filter through, transmit the healing energy of your being, of your soul. So letting yourself bring your hands to wherever you're feeling that narrative. And they might start with thoughts, but you might actually be feeling it in somewhere in your body. Most likely in your heart, in your sacral womb. Sometimes we feel it in our solar plexus. And just focusing the breath there. And what we want to do is we want to gently, with a lot of love, we want to gently be present with that part of you that feels limited, that feels sad, that feels scared, or that feels abandoned, powerless, that feels shame. And we want to actually be with that part of yourself. Because as we breathe into it, and we're going to actually do a mantra now to allow, it's like we're bringing, it's almost like we're we're focusing our awareness, our consciousness, and what that does is that sheds the light on it. We actually can see it, and we're not pushing it away, and we're not making it wrong. We're not judging these places, these shadows within ourselves. We're actually embracing it, and we're actually breathing and holding it in love. And this is part of our humanity. We are human. We are divine and we are human, right? We're rooted in the divine essence, but we're human. And in our humanity, we've really acquired a lot of conditioning that has severed us from connecting and embodying and living through our divinity. In other words, severed us from the love. And most of us seek love out there in many different ways. And the truth is that the love that we're seeking, the happiness that we're seeking, the peace, the safety, is rooted in our own being. It is that consciousness that we are made of. And nothing outside of yourself will ever satisfy you. And so we keep, we get the next thing and the next thing, and then we keep looking for more and looking for more. And as long as we are sourcing from outside of ourselves, it will always leave that deep yearning, because the deep yearning of your being is really yearning for the union. Where it feels disconnected, it's yearning for the union of that love. And so the transformation, and this feminine transformation, really works through being able to face the places within us that are in separation, that are not in love. It's the best way, easiest way to say that. And then letting those places be loved, be seen, be heard, be acknowledged, and allowing those places to dissolve into the love. So it's quite a simple process. It's really a 3-step process. And so the transformational part of it, we're going to do the mantra. This is a mantra that means it's like returning to the love. It's like releasing the judgments, the conditioning within ourselves so that we can return to the love, forgiving ourselves for forgetting that we're the love. It's like bringing in that quality of forgiveness, but not because we've done anything wrong, but because we've forgotten the truth. And sometimes even in our narratives, it's like, well, we should have known better, but we don't. That's part of the journey. That's part of the transformation. That's part of the journey we're on to find the love and be the love. And so let us, so the mantra we're going to be doing is, and I want you to do it yourselves. You're all muted, so you could do it yourself. Start it loud if you can, and then you can go lower and lower. But it's important to hear it so that your senses hear it, so that you transmit it through all parts of your body. Your cells can feel the vibration, because mantras and sound codes are all based on frequencies. And the frequency is what shifts the vibration of these places within you. It's all part of quantum medicine. It shifts the frequency of these narratives that we're holding in these denser vibrations of fear, of limitation, of separation, of grief, of sadness, of hopelessness. And so if you say it to yourself, I mean, I know I'm going to be saying it, I'm going to be doing a little drumming, but if you say it, it's that much more powerful. And then letting yourself just lose yourself in this mantra, in the sound codes, and just diving in. Okay. So it's Astaghfirullah Lazim. Astaghfirullah Lazim. Astaghfirullah Lazim. And we'll start with that. Astaghfirullah Lazim. 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 Let yourself take a deep breath. And just notice how that part of your heart or your body is feeling. Notice what's moving now through your body, through your heart. And so we're going to do a little bit more. If you feel called, as always, you can do your own thing. Stay with your process. Remember, you're the authority of you. But if it feels right for you, you can follow whatever it is that I'm doing, saying, or guiding. But it's really important for you to follow the wisdom that comes through you, because ultimately that is your guru. The inner wisdom is your guru, is your where you connect with the guidance, where you connect with what is right for you. And learning to trust that is such an important process of finding and embodying the love. We'll just do a little bit of breathing here. We're going to do the quality, we're going to do Gafoor, which is a quality of forgiveness. But again, I want you to hear forgiveness is really about embracing love in the places that you judge yourself, that you hold against yourself, that you feel unworthy, and where you have forgotten that you are the love. So it's going to sound like this. Gafoor, Gafoor. So it's Ghaffur. Gafoor. And as we're doing Gafoor, and it feels right for you, we're going to let yourself move forward and back. And we're going to release our breath as we come forward. Exhale. And breathe in as we come back. And I'm going to let you do that at your own pace with the quality of Gafoor. Remember, these are sound codes and frequencies of light. Gafoor, 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 And now when you exhale, when you come to the next exhale, all the way down, and let yourself count to the rhythm of 7 in between the exhale and the inhale. 7, if you can't do 7, then do 4. In other words, you're going to pause at the empty state, which correlates to the dark moon today. You're going to pause at that empty state. And then you come up, breathe again to the count of 7, inhale, exhale to the count of 7, and then pause for the count of 7. Again, if you can't do 7, then do 4, do 5, wherever you want to start. Follow your wisdom. So inhale, exhale, and pause. Inhale, exhale, and pause. And I'll let you do this quietly, and I'll keep chanting Da 4. Da 4, 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 Da 4. 6, 7. Just do it a few more times. Very gently, very slowly. We're releasing, surrendering what is no longer needed, and inviting union with the love, with the essence of our being, which is love. And exhale. And when you're ready, bringing your hands in prayer position, breathing into your third eye, prayer position, breathing here 3 times. Beautiful. Breathing here 3 times. Bring your prayer hand positions into your heart, front of your heart. And then bringing them into your sacral, but as you fold them down, using the mantra of joy, of bliss, right over your sacral, right, which is right below your belly button, into that pelvic womb. This is your sacral womb. Breathing, activating the joy, activating the love, inviting yourself to move deeper into that dimension. And then bringing your right hand over your heart and your left hand over your womb. Breathing there, synchronizing your true essence, the love from your womb, from your soul, from your essence. Bridging it into the heart, your humanity, all the places that are needing the love, all the places that are experiencing other than love in your heart. And just letting yourself feel that in your body. Letting your root open connecting with Mother Gaia. Letting her love come through your root, letting your root go all the way into the center of the earth, and then letting her come up through that connection that you've opened, that you've extended. It's really your roots, your energetic roots, and letting her come up all the way through your feet, through your root, through the soles of your feet, into your root, into your pelvic cavity, into your womb. That's the sacral womb. Breathing it in there, feeling the love, feeling the support all around you as well as within you. And then letting it come from the womb into the solar plexus and the heart. All the way up into the heart. Breathing it there. Beautiful. Breathing it all the way up into your head, all the way into your upper womb. You can bring your hands into your upper womb, the sides of your head, the temples, crossing your pinkies over your third eye, covering your eyes a bit. Breathing all that love, breathing all that essence into your upper womb, letting the pineal gland recalibrate, the pituitary, the hypothalamus, recalibrate to the love, to the love. That's it. And then opening up your crown, also bringing some awareness to your throat. Opening up your crown to receive all of the frequencies, the cosmic frequencies, including all of those that go through, that are kind of filtered through the moon, because the moon is the closest cosmic body to us here on Earth. And so receiving all of the frequencies, especially that of tonight, which is all about union with the love, union with the truth, releasing everything else. And you can continue to put your hands over your heart and in your lower abdomen and in your sacral womb. And just breathing. And bringing in the ah sound through the heart. And the om, ending in om in the sacral womb on your left hand. Then really envisioning all that love, not just pouring in, but also as that pours in and all of those frequencies pour in, it's activating the love of your being, the secret in your soul, the light of your soul, your spirit, your essence. And it's activating that. And then your light of love, your light body starts to expand, expand, expand. And that's what continues to transmute all of those narratives, all of those places of limitation where you're caught in those old stories. And so in this moment, we just set the intention to surrender, to surrender the conditioning, the narratives, the old stories, the places where you are yet to love yourself. And just surrendering them into the love. It's not about doing, it's about surrendering, because the only thing that truly heals on the deep transformational level is love. Everything else just prepares you for the surrender. It's surrendering into the love. And surrendering takes courage because we don't know. We don't know what that ocean of love is going to feel like. Because maybe we've known these other parts of ourselves or expression of ourselves for very long. And so it takes this willingness to trust love, to trust in something greater than what that part of you has known. To trust in unconditional love, in the true essence of love, in the true essence of your soul, in the true essence of the oneness of Source. And letting even the fear, surrendering even the fear, surrendering all of the thoughts that come up in that and surrendering so deeply, asking love, asking this divine dimension within you, outside of you, all around you, Source herself, asking love to do with you whatever love wants, so that you can live in love, you can express from love, and you can allow all of these narratives, all of the conditioning to dissolve into love. And so that we can ultimately be in service to love. Even in our humanity, right? Even as we walk the earth in this physical form. But the physical form is also created from love. There's no separation. It is the densest form of love. And it shows us exactly where we're still caught in other than love. So just taking another moment. As you allow yourself to surrender deeper into the unknown ocean of love. And sometimes it's easiest if we take a few minutes and just envision what would that feel like in your body if you were expressing from love throughout your day, throughout your work, throughout your relationships with others. If that narrative wasn't there, what would it feel like in your body? What would it feel like? What would it feel like to be completely dissolved in love? And just breathe that in for a moment and say yes to that. Say yes to that. And surrender the shame, the fear, the hopelessness, the unworthiness. Those are all stories of our conditioning. Embrace them with love. Surrender them into the love. Hold them in love. And they might have motivated you, and they're not to be judged. They motivated you and got you to this place right here tonight. This place in your consciousness. And so we even want to have gratitude for our stories, for our conditioning. It has allowed us to survive. It has allowed generations and generations of women to survive for thousands and thousands of years in a culture that has been challenging at best, and a culture that does not honor love as the motivating force behind all of our actions. And so, what would it feel like? Say yes to that. Because there's a part of you, and actually the most essential, true core of you, that already knows what that feels like. The other aspects are just experiences that we've identified with, and we think they're parts of us, but they're really not. We have just taken on those filters. And so your soul, the deepest core part of you, knows what that feels like. And there's safety in that as well. So just letting yourself really dissolve in that and surrender in that and trust that love. And so we'll end here in gratitude for this beautiful evening of the dark moon, and I'm sending you lots of love from my heart to your heart, and lots of dissolving, lots of epiphanies, lots of recalibrating of your mindset, radical transformation as we enter the solar eclipse and the new moon in Gemini tomorrow. So many blessings. Much love and peace. Love you all.